Hey everyone, my name is Rachel and today we are going to be talking about makeup. Not in a super girly way, in a kind of like religion-y, atheism oriented kind of way. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But to start this off, don't know if you guys have noticed, but I wear makeup. Sometimes. Occasionally. Okay, I wear makeup when I'm filming and sometimes when I go to like parties or gigs or whatever. That's about it. The rest of the time, I'm either too lazy to put it on or too concerned about, you know, my skin. Because makeup isn't the best for your skin, right? I don't wear makeup for anyone but myself. It's for me, it's for fun. And that's why sometimes, even if I'm going to be stuck in the house all day and Dan's at work and no one's around, if I'm feeling a little bit rubbishy about myself, sometimes I'll do my eyebrows or put on a coat of mascara to cheer myself up and make myself feel good. And that's why sometimes, if I am going out with friends and spending the day out somewhere, I won't bother putting on makeup if I'm feeling tired or rushed or busy or I just can't be bothered. I don't wear makeup for anyone but myself. But today we are going to be looking at a video by the legends, as they now are, at Girl Defined Ministries. You've probably seen these around the internet quite a lot by now, and they're gaining quite a little bit of attention. They make a lot of videos about how to lead like a good Christian life and how to be a God-honouring woman and all this kind of thing. And honestly, I don't like their content. I think this video that we're going to be looking at today, which is titled How to Wear Makeup in a God-Honouring Way, I think it's a little better in some ways than some of their other videos because they seem a lot more relaxed, a lot more human, but they're still very judgmental. In this one, they don't have a clear message at all. It just feels very messy, very muddy, very all over the place, very filled with fluff with not a lot of substance. I can't make up my mind about if I think they're nice people or not. They have this very cheery demeanour. They're very like bubbly and lively, but honestly, I think under all that, they're just quite judgmental people, and I don't think I'd like to meet them. But that's just my little opinion. I'm sure they think they're doing good, so, you know, good intentions and all that. Now, one thing I will say before we get into the video itself is that I don't wear makeup to honour God, so this video isn't aimed at me. I'm not a Christian either. So again, it's not aimed at me, but still, I think it's an interesting concept, this idea of wearing makeup to please someone else or having rules for how you dress for someone else. That's something that's very alien to me and that I don't really get. So I figured maybe I can learn something from this video. And with that, let's get into it.
Hey guys, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girl Defined Ministries, and in today's vlog, we're gonna be sharing with you something fun and practical: how to wear makeup in a God-honoring way. Thinking back to when we first started wearing makeup and really just experiencing with makeup, we get like literally a comedy show just watching our old videos and looking at our pictures because we had no idea what we were doing.
It's a nightmare.
Oh, like I think I started out first of all with like this bright like purple eyeshadow. Remember the purple eyeshadow?
It was shiny.
It was like shiny purple. That's all I wore, just like purple eyeshadow. Like, wow, I'm not sure what I was thinking. So I'm sure you look back on some of your pictures when you're younger and think, wow,
goodness,
what was I doing? But I remember as I got a little bit older, we both went through this phase that we call the raccoon phase, where we thought that more eyeliner was better. Like, we thought as much as we could possibly get on our eyes, like, the better it would make us look.
I thought this was quite an interesting way to open the video because it's fine. It's not really as big a deal as they're making it out to be. When you're young, you're probably kids, teenagers, whatever, playing around with makeup, experimenting, trying things out. It's new, that's fine, you make mistakes. It's not a big deal. I don't quite see what all the like crazy embarrassment and over-the-top reactions are all about. No one picks up a paintbrush for the first time and suddenly paints the Mona Lisa. Just like you don't pick up an eyeshadow for the first time and suddenly know how to blend it. You don't pick up foundation for the first time and suddenly know exactly what texture is right for your skin and what colour is right for your skin tone, and you don't know how to blend it into the skin properly. Like, using makeup is a skill that you develop, and I don't think you should be overly embarrassed about mistakes you made in the past. Yeah, sometimes it's funny to look back and be like, oh, it's so silly, can you believe that? But I just find their reactions here a little bit over the top. But that's just me.
Thankfully, we learned more isn't always better. And as we got older, we continued to learn and grow in our understanding of makeup. And then we started asking, like, what does God think about makeup?
Yeah.
What do other wise, godly women say about makeup?
Yeah.
So we did a lot of research.
And here we get into the bulk of what the video is about, asking, what does God think about makeup? And I mean, do you seriously think if there is a God, he really cares about makeup at all? I mean, okay, I don't believe in a God, I'm an atheist, blah, blah, blah. But if I did think there was a God, and if he was the creator of the whole universe, if he was this, like, source of ultimate power and knowledge, and he was super benevolent and so on, do you really think he'd care about what people put on their faces? I don't. And to be honest, if he did care, I'd be a little bit disgusted with him, to be honest. I mean, does it really matter what a person puts on their face when there's starving and dying and suffering in the world? I don't think it does. And I'm not saying that, like, every single person in the world should be more concerned with helping the homeless and helping starving kids and saving people's lives and so on. I'm not saying that everyone should be focused on that instead of makeup. I'm just saying, if you are this being, in whatever way, that has this, like, ultimate power, and you're in this position where you can help people, you have the power to help people and stop them from being abused, or stop them from starving, or stop them from being homeless, or whatever. If you have that power and that opportunity, and you choose to sit back and be like, now I'm not sure her eyeliner is honouring me today. If that's your priority instead of helping people, then yeah, I'm going to be judgmental. But for the regular person on the street, there's nothing wrong with being interested in makeup, you know? Because you're not God.
So for me, when it comes to most things in life, I want, like, black and white answers. I'm very black and white, and I want to know what's right, what's wrong. Just tell me what to do, and I'll follow it. And when it comes to makeup, I kind of wanted the same thing. Like, wear this, you can wear lipstick, but no eyeliner. Okay, great, I can do that. Just give me the guide, and I will follow it.
This is the point that gets me. This is my whole problem with not only this video, but their whole channel. This explains so much. She's basically saying, right, all my life, I never wanted to think for myself. Why would I? Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's why Christianity is so perfect for me. I don't have to make decisions. I don't have to find answers for myself. I don't have to think for myself. I don't have to take responsibility for my own decisions. Why bother using my brain when men and old books can tell me what to do? Bothering to understand things and take responsibility and make my own decisions, that's just too difficult. Why bother when I can just say, God did it and God says to do this? I just want to pass all the responsibility and all the decision making and all the answers off onto God, because it's just easier that way, you know? I hate this way of thinking so much. And she's literally admitting that that is how she likes to live her life, and I can't respect someone who thinks that way.
And so when it comes to the area of makeup, what we have to do is we have to take what scripture says about it, and then when we have to use that as wisdom to kind of guide us and to kind of make decisions using what the Bible says, not adding to it, but not taking away from it.
You mean the Bible doesn't have in the back with the maps, like a guide for makeup, like tutorial?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have that in the back?
I wish that would be nice, like the perfect holy makeup. Or nothing, but it doesn't do that. I'm sorry, this is so down to earth and casual, y'all. We're just having way too much fun with y'all. So there isn't one specific verse that talks directly about makeup, but there are a lot of verses that talk about our design as women and then our design as Christians and how we can best honor God in our lives. So the verse that we've really looked at and that we're going to look at today really quickly comes from 1 Timothy 2:9-10. And this is something I'm sure you've all heard, but just listen up because the context is really interesting. It says, likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly attire, but what is proper for women who profess godliness with good works. And so you might think, okay, wait, is this verse saying we can't wear like pearls or costly attire? Like, what does this mean? But when you dig into the context of this verse and you get at the heart behind what is trying to be communicated in this passage, what we see is that this was being written actually and directing towards the Christian women of that day, back in the day, in their culture, in their context. And what was happening is that there were a lot of women who would dress in ways, the pearls, the costly attire, that's referring to a lot of the ungodly women of the day. Really, the temple prostitutes would often dress in in these kind of ways. And so essentially what this passage is saying and trying to communicate to even us as women today in our modern day is, hey, God's women, Christian women, should dress and act and look a way that represents holiness, that represents purity, that represents women who are set apart, women who reflect God in a beautiful way, but do it in a way with purity and holiness and hearts of humility. We can take that context and say, okay, for today, our outward appearance, God cares about, more so he cares about our heart. We believe, and we've come to the conclusion that there are ways that we can enjoy makeup in a fun, God-honoring way that still portrays the purity and holiness that God is wanting for Christian women.
Okay, so this part of the video is super long and I've cut it up to try and cut out some of the fluff and just show you the main parts. But to summarize, there's a passage in the Bible which talks about how women dress. It says that you shouldn't dress in pearls or gold and don't braid your hair and so on. By the way, at this point, let's just have a giggle about the fact that one of them's wearing a gold necklace and both of them have braids in their hair, but you know, whatever. But anyway, apparently those are just specific little rules relevant to that culture at the time. They don't apply today because cultures change and our culture's changed and things have moved on, right? And the ultimate meaning apparently was don't dress like prostitutes. But isn't it interesting here how some parts of the Bible are set in stone and they can't change over time, they can't change with culture, and they've just got to stay the same. And some parts are more fluid. Some parts you have to look at the cultural context, you know? You have to see what the culture was like at the time and apply rules there, and see how culture is today and apply rules differently now. I mean, it seems like double standards to me, but apparently that's just how the Bible works. I mean, it's almost like they're just cherry-picking what's convenient, isn't it? But they wouldn't do that, would they? Anyway, to summarise, today, still don't dress like prostitutes. Whatever that means. Apparently today, you have to look pure and modest because you don't want the world thinking you are a dirty, filthy whore.
We know that we may land on different pages or have different convictions in this area, and we totally know that, and that's okay. Really, the heart should be a heart that wants to honor God. So whether you land on the page of like, you know, I don't feel like makeup is a good decision for me, my heart, and just what I believe, I don't think that's a good one. That's fine. Or you may be someone who lands and says, yes, I think makeup is okay in the right context or in this situation. That's kind of not the point of should we or shouldn't we. It's really what we're trying to get at is the heart of, is your heart desiring to honor God? Is it a heart of humility, like Kristen said? Are we trying to look like the world, and are we trying to, you know, kind of appear kind of, you know, sexual or kind of, you know, raunchy or any of those sorts of ways? Or are we trying to honor God? So really just think about the heart's motive.
So once again, it comes back to this point that apparently it's okay for some people to interpret some parts of the Bible in different ways. So then why do a lot of Christians have issues with some people interpreting parts of the Bible to make it seem like being gay is okay? Why do some people have issues with that? Because let's be honest, as much as some people think the whole like being gay thing is black and white in the Bible, it's really not. There's a really interesting video on kind of like what the Bible does say about being gay, which I will link below. It's an interesting little watch, actually. But that bit aside, this might be a video about makeup, but honestly, it actually offers a really interesting insight into not just kind of Christian thinking and not just what these two think, but it has some insight into what a lot of religions in general tend to teach and what a lot of religious people think, and it offers up some really big problems. For example, people not wanting to think for themselves or take personal responsibility. It shows how a lot of people cherry pick parts of holy books that are just convenient for them. It shows the confusion over, you know, how some things are subjective and some things aren't. There's the confusion over how some things are allowed to change with cultures and over time and blah blah, and other things aren't. These are just a couple of the problems I have with religion and relying on holy books. And this video honestly kind of epitomizes so much that is wrong with religion.
The one thing that we do see in scripture is that God created women to be beautiful. When Eve came onto the scene, it's like, wow, everything is good now. The curves, just everything about us. And you see, like, even the world gets this in the culture. Who are they putting on the fronts of the magazines? It's these beautiful women to showcase their beauty, not in typically a God-honoring way, but we need to realize, like, we were created to be beautiful creatures. Yes, we are. That beauty is a good and wonderful thing. And I am, like, as girly girl as they come. Like, to the core, I am, like, sparkles and pink. And that's just the way, personally, Kristen's not as much that way, but we both love to enjoy the beauty that God gave to us. We do live in a fallen world, and along with that, we get some really dark circles, we get some acne, some pimples. And so we view, just like deodorant, we use that to freshen up, or toothpaste to freshen that breath, or whatever, lotions when we have
brush
the real
our
crusty
hair.
skin, brush our skin. We kind of view makeup for us in that same sort of way. So if we have dark circles, we might cover them. And honestly, we both just enjoy makeup, enjoy enhancing the beauty that God has given us. So that's kind of our view on it. And that's what we love. Just don't feel like your beauty is a bad thing, or like, oh, I can't enjoy the beauty the way that God designed me. Like, oh, I need to hide it, or this is a bad thing.
Yes, and not even enhancing it is a bad thing. That, oh, well, if God gave us natural beauty, then we should just leave it. But I think he gave us natural beauty. But like you said, we live in a fallen world, so enhancing it even highlights that.
Acne. The curse of all sinners, right? No, but seriously, this is where they do just start talking fluff. I mean, there's no real substance here to anything they're saying. They don't offer any good answers. It's like, okay, so women are designed to showcase their beauty, but don't showcase it too much. And it's only beauty if it's in this like overtly feminine way that they define as beautiful. They're implying that you have to be feminine to be beautiful, but you don't have to be overly feminine and pink and glittery as long as you are feminine. No, that's stupid. Like, beauty is entirely subjective. My sister isn't really all that feminine in terms of, like, she has short hair and she doesn't wear dresses or skirts or whatever, but I still think she's beautiful. I mean, would they argue that she's not beautiful because she's not traditionally feminine? And I mean, they don't offer any idea of where to draw the line. They're just like, okay, women are beautiful and we all have curves and we have to show off our curvy bodies to honor God, but not in a sexual way because that's bad. It's like, women are beautiful, but don't be too beautiful, but also don't be ashamed of your beauty, but don't show off your beauty. We have curves, and we should enjoy our curves and show off our curves because it makes us women, but don't show your curves in a sexual way, and don't let anyone look at you in a sexual way because that's bad. So cover your curves a bit, but don't cover them too much, but a bit. You see what I mean? There's just no consistency, no substance. They're not saying anything. They're not saying anything at all. It's hypocritical, it's unclear, it's stupid. And then they kind of like have this end bit here, and they talk about, saying they enjoy makeup, which is great. That's nice to hear. I applaud them for that. So do I. So do other people. That's cool. They recognize that people can enjoy it in different ways, and some people might not want to wear makeup at all, and some people might want to wear it, and so on. And yeah, this bit's kind of fine, And then they talk about how it's also fine to be beautiful, and don't be ashamed of your beauty, and don't feel ashamed of wearing makeup. Again, that's fine. That's cool. But I don't know, they just have, again, this weird, muddy mix of words without substance. And then they end it by just deciding to show off some of their makeup products. There's not really too much to say about this bit, except, turns out, I use one of the same Revlon lip products that they do, except while they wear a matte dusty pink, I have a nice shiny red colour in the shade Romantic, which I think just shows Satan's influence on my life. While they choose a modest pink, I choose the harlot's colour of red, because I'm a dirty, sinful atheist with red lipstick. And then again, they end it by just saying, "Honor God with your makeup." And that's it. It's a very strange, confusing video. And while I kind of appreciate that some of their points revolve around how, don't be ashamed of who you are, don't worry about wearing makeup, wear it if you want, don't wear it if you want, I can get behind that. A lot of their points just come back to this idea that, honestly, the way you should dress and the way you wear makeup, the outcome doesn't matter too much as long as the intention is to be pure and modest and to honor God. Again, I can kind of understand that, and I don't appreciate it, but I kind of get where they're coming from in, this whole intentions are more important than the outcome in this case. But I also think that's a bad message to teach, because ultimately what you do with your body and your face should be for yourself, not for anyone else, even if that being is a god you believe in, you know? And they have these muddy rules of like, you know, it's okay to do this and this and this, but don't be sexual and don't show off too much, and they never explain where this line is supposed to be, which kind of, you know, leaves them open to criticizing people if they want, you know. They talk about women on magazine covers and how, you know, it's okay to be beautiful and it's okay to be this, and how beauty sells and so on, but they don't think it's okay to dress provocatively. And I don't know, in reality, the line between kind of like beauty and sexuality is very thin. There's a lot of crossover there. And they don't seem to understand that. I'm not sure if it's naivety or ignorance, or they're just willfully ignoring it. I don't know. I feel like it's very hard to make a video in response to them, because there's so little substance to what they said in the first place. It's just, this is a very, very bizarre video from them. And I've been wanting to talk about it for a little while now, and I don't quite know how to put it into words. It's really bizarre. So with that, I'm going to end this with my thoughts on this subject. If you want to wear makeup, you go for it and you do it. If you don't want to wear makeup, you don't have to, that's fine as well. But ultimately, just make sure you're doing it for yourself. Don't wear makeup to please anyone else. Don't wear clothes to please anyone else. Wear clothes that you're comfortable in and that you're happy in and that make you feel like you. That's what I'd say in all of this. One thing I do think they kind of get right is that in terms of makeup and clothes and stuff, often intent is more important than outcome. The intent should be that you make yourself feel good and that you're happy and comfortable, though, not pleasing someone else or some being else, like a god. I don't think that should be the focus. The focus should be you. Of course, there are exceptions where you have a uniform, or it's expected that you wear, you know, such and such a clothing or whatever to your job. If we're talking day-to-day life, if we're talking about what you wear to social events and to social occasions and things like that, honestly, I think screw everyone else and just do what makes you happy. I mean, it's not quite the black and white rules that this one wants, but I think they're good enough to live by, but that's just me. Anyway, with this very fluffy video that didn't have much substance itself, sorry about that. Anyway, with this, let me know your thoughts on makeup on Girl Defined, who I just find very bizarre. This may or may not be my last video for a little while, I'm not sure. I'm going up to Yorkshire to visit family, so I'm not really going to have my recording stuff, and I'm not quite sure at this point how long I'm staying for. Hopefully I'll be back on Tuesday, but yeah, that's about it. That's all I have to say for now. Sorry, videos have been a little bit sparse recently, but you know, busy, I'm a little bee. But for now, thank you so much for watching this today. Like I say, please let me know your thoughts. I really do love to hear from you, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much everyone supporting me on Patreon this month. I can't believe the amount of support, it's amazing. Especially thank you goes to Gambit and Chauffeur, Mark Dauner, Christian Berg, Religion is BS, Matthew Meinema, Jaylee Moore, Silvan Wespi, Lachie Scott and Jadeon Sheppard. And a huge thank you to all of them and everyone else who's here on the end screen and down in the description below.